Curved Dash Oldsmobile. The Oldsmobile Curved Dash was the first mass-produced car made from 1899 to 1907. They were made in Detroit, Michigan. It was the first popular car that was affordable as well as reliable. Typical of most early cars, it looked like a carriage without a horse. As a result, the engine was placed under the seat, midway in the chassis. This car displays all the elements of a very early mid-engine American car. Model A Ford. This is the first car produced by Ford Motor Company. 1,750 Model A cars were made from 1903 through 1904. They had a 2-cylinder, 8-horsepower engine and a 2-speed planetary transmission. These were located under the seat, making the Model A a true mid-engine car. The 2-seater runabout sold for $800. 1909 Model F Buick. By 1909, many cars had adopted the mechanical layout of expensive European cars, with the engine in front and a radiator in front of the engine. Buick, like many other American companies, retained the earlier layout with a mid-mounted engine, but added a fake hood to give the impression that the engine was in front. The starting crank comes out the side of the car, midway along the running board. The Rumpler Truppenwagen. The Truppenwagen, or teardrop car, was the first streamlined production car. It was built between 1921 and 1925 and had a drag coefficient of 0.28. These cars had a 157 cubic inch overhead valve W6 engine that produced 36 horsepower. The engine was mounted just ahead of the rear axle. Only about 100 of these cars were ever built. Citroën Traction Avant. The Citroën Traction Avant is a front-wheel drive car with the engine mounted well back from the front axle, making it a front mid-engine vehicle. While the term mid-engine usually refers to rear mid-engine cars, the Citroën truly does carry the engine between the axles. It was manufactured from 1934 through 1957, virtually unchanged. The unit body and all independent suspension were advanced features that eventually were copied by almost all cars. 1936 Auto Union Type CV16. Auto Union was created with the help of Ferdinand Porsche. Along with building passenger cars, a goal of the new company was to enter Grand Prix, and they claimed many victories from 1936 to 1938. Ferdinand Porsche designed the Type C and championed his mid-engine design, first used on the 1923 Truppenwagen. The chosen displacement was 6 liters that was supercharged to achieve 550 horsepower. Ford GT40. The Ford GT40, named for its 40-inch height, was a mid-engine competition car Ford created to win at Le Mans. It won at Le Mans 4 times, starting in 1966, beating the best Ferrari and Porsche had for several years. A street version was sold in limited numbers. Ford was the first American company to make a modern mid-engine sports car. 1970 Porsche 914. The Porsche 914 was the first modern mid-engine sports car that used the major powertrain parts from a lower-priced conventional car to create a moderately priced, high-performance mid-engine sports car. The Volkswagen engine was placed behind the driver, and it used a Volkswagen transaxle. The result was an affordable, state-of-the-art sports car. Acura NSX Hybrid. The Acura NSX is a unique mid-engine car that uses both a gasoline engine and 3 electric motors. The gasoline engine and 1 electric motor drive the rear wheels, and 2 electric motors drive the front wheels. A 63 kilowatt battery powers the electric motors. Regenerative braking and the gasoline engine charge the batteries. The body is primarily an aluminum space frame with aluminum and plastic panels. C8 Corvette. This is the first mid-engine Corvette since the model's introduction in 1953. A strong focus was placed on its aerodynamics and cooling. The base engine is the LT2, a new naturally aspirated V8 rated at 490 horsepower at 6,450 RPM and 465 foot-pounds of torque at 5,150 RPM. The transmission is an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic. The C8 was named 2020 Motor Trend Car of the Year.